What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always. Spitting the hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. Y'all know what I talk about: football, basketball, and boxing. Wanted to get into the NFL. It's time to revisit some of my predictions. Some of the things I said leading into the season. We basically a quarter of the way into the season. Things have changed as expected. We're getting a little clearer picture of where we're headed. Let's talk about it. So, the NFL season. We here in week 4, and a lot of people would say that, who knows what's going to happen moving forward, because we're still figuring out teams, still trying to figure out where we're headed. I made some predictions early on, and I'm going to have to walk back a few of them because they were the way too early predictions, as some folks would say. One of those was that my Washington Commanders was going to win the NFC East. Man, is that looking wrong. I feel real bad about these guys. Always support them, but I'm not liking the offensive line production. I'm not liking the defense that we were supposed to have. Not liking the coaching, to be honest. Wentz, he's so-so. He's doing all right. Got room to grow. We'll see. But winning the division right now, I need these guys to show me they're going to win 10 games. If they can't make the playoffs this year, I think we're going to be calling for coach's job. Or he on the hot seat at the very least for the next season, where it's playoffs or you're fired. But we'll see where that goes. The San Francisco 49ers, I had them not making the playoffs, but that was because I thought Trey Lance, albeit a guy who might have a promising future, wasn't ready for the task being laid at his feet with the great team that he had around him. I thought he was going to hold them back, and because of that, they would struggle and not make the playoffs. Because they made a mistake, in my opinion, not keeping Jimmy G where he was. People don't appreciate what they have until they lose it. Now, by default, they get him back. San Francisco winning the division, winning the conference, and going to the Super Bowl is all back in play. So we'll see how that goes. Because Jimmy G, if nothing, is a winner, and those guys rally around him, even if he isn't your typical in the pocket, pick you apart QB. Also, the Jaguars. I had the Jaguars being a promising team this year and winning maybe 9, 10 games, but I didn't think they could win their division, and now I do. And that's a few things I want to walk back as far as where we are right now. So, as far as the playoff picture, who's going to make it and who won't? That's a really good question. I'm not 100% sure yet, and I'm going to revisit this around week 11 or 12 when they got a true clear picture of what's what and what's happening. Things can still change at that point, but I feel pretty confident in my ability to select who's going to make or not make the playoffs at that point. I gave my way too early picks already, but now with a little bit of evidence that we got, I'm okay making an adjustment to that. The Eagles look great, obviously. Everybody say they look like the best team in football or in the NFC. I disagree. I think they look like the best team in their division. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and they do have a shot to win the conference. I don't think they're the best team in football, because I do think the AFC will still produce that squad. But the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Vikings, the Packers, as well as the Rams and the 49ers, along with the Buccaneers are probably the 7 teams that'll be in the playoffs. And I can see the Eagles possibly getting a 1 seed, but I think they're going to seriously have to compete with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even with the turmoil Tom's going through right now, outside of him outright retiring because of what's going on with him and Gisele, if he plays this season, then that tells me even more so these boys are going to show up for him because they ain't going to have no choice because he's going to be on their tail to be nice with my language about what he needs to get done or what they need to get done. Because if he's playing this year with everything he's putting up with, or I shouldn't say, wrong choice of words, everything he's dealing with, that is a lot having to do with him, then winning the Super Bowl or at least getting there is the only thing that's going to make this season slightly worth playing. So the Bucs, I think, are in the picture. Their offense will get better and better as they get healthier and guys get more acquainted with the offense again. And the defense is lock solid. As for the AFC, now the AFC, as I've thought, probably has the best team. I think the AFC will more than likely win the Super Bowl. The teams that I think at this point that are playoff bound, the Bills, the Dolphins if Tua is able to stay upright, the Jaguars, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Cleveland Browns, who I think are going to hold the ship steady until D. Watt gets there. And I think he's going to play well once he gets back. He's going to have a couple, cobwebs to shake off, but I think he'll be good. And then the Chargers and the Chiefs. So those are my 7 as of right now, I think, that are playoff-bound teams. And then, like I said, we'll revisit this as we get closer to week 11, week 12, right around that time. Now, as far as most surprising people or most surprising team, I don't know. That's difficult to say right now. I like what the Jags are doing. I think they need to make a few improvements in order to truly be that playoff team that I'm saying they're going to be, but I think that it's coming. The Eagles, everybody said, as loaded as their team was, all the great moves they made in the offseason, this was going to happen. Maybe the biggest surprise to some people is Jalen Hurts, who wasn't a surprise to me. I was telling people I know that was down on the brother that he was legit, that he had that it factor. People say, what's that it factor? He knows how to win. He has a professional outlook on the way he approaches things. He came from quality programs where he played well. He lost his job to Tua in Alabama, and that didn't affect him from doing his thing at the next spot. He is a guy that just seems like a winner, seems like a guy the team will rally around. Like Jimmy G in San Francisco, you ain't got to be the best pocket passer in the world in order to be a leader and a winner, and I think that's what Hurts is. And he fits the Philly motto because, they had Randall Cunningham, Donovan McNabb. These run/throwing quarterbacks is a thing in Philly. I like him there. So that's not a surprise to me. Now, I predicted the Bengals weren't going to make the playoffs, and I'm sticking to that. The Rams I thought would be a little bit better. Not a surprise that they're not playing as well, but I'd like to see them do a little bit better. And then there's my MVP pick as of right now. People are on the Josh Allen train. Lamar Jackson is like 80% of what his team does. People like him. Micah Parsons doing his thing on defense, but we know defensive players don't get that award. He's got to really kill for that to happen. And the Cowboys as a team, their record, they got to win the NFC pretty much probably. But even with all that being said, the best player in the league and the MVP of the league is the guy it always was, and probably will be for years to come, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Showtime. Sitting on 11 touchdowns and 2 picks. For anybody that's thrown as many or close to as many touchdowns as him, he's got less picks. Guys that have less picks don't have those type of touchdowns. His QBR higher than everybody pretty much in the league. His passer rating, top 2 in the league. Patrick doing his thing without the cheetah, and folks said that was the reason he was Patrick, because he had the cheetah to take the top off the defense. Patrick is Patrick. I've always said Andy Reid is a genius and he can make things happen. But the reason he didn't do what he's doing now with Donovan McNabb or even with Alex Smith is because he didn't have Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes sees the game differently. He plays it at a different speed, has a confidence and an aura about him that is contagious, and he can sling that thing like none other. So he is the dude in this era right now until proven otherwise, and he's showing it right now. And if they win the AFC record-wise, they finish 1 or even 2 without the cheetah, and he does his thing like he's been doing. If this continues, MVP's in the bag. The question is, will they get the ring? We'll see. All right, y'all, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is and you know what you're looking for. J Heat Sports Media. Remember to like, subscribe, or hit the bell. Get at me in the comments. I'm on YouTube, y'all already know, at The Vault JMU414 on Twitter, and of course, what's up TikTok? I'll holler at y'all next time.